Monster Energy. Everybody knows White Monster Zero Ultra. That's the OG. It kicked off this whole zero sugar energy drink thing. But Ultra is a whole lineup now. You've got Strawberry Dreams, Blue Hawaiian, Sunrise, and Vice Guava. And they all bring the Monster Energy punch. So if you've been living in the white can, branch out. Ultra's got a flavor for every vibe. And every single one is zero sugar. Tap the banner to learn more.
From athletic stuff like a full court pickup game, swish, to athlete-ish stuff like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athlete-ish, Sierra's got it.
This is Optimal Living Daily. What it feels like to always travel by Tynan of Tynan.com. And I'm Justin Malik. We're going to get right to it as we optimize your life. What it feels like to always travel by Tynan of Tynan.com. For the past few years, I've been in a state of near constant motion. I was in Budapest for 5 weeks straight last month, and that was by far the longest I'd been in one place in years. This lifestyle now feels totally normal to me, so I thought it might be interesting to share what it feels like to live such a life, both good and bad. Maybe the best part of moving around constantly is that I have a presence in different cities around the world. I have friend groups in Vegas, San Francisco, New York, Tokyo, and Budapest. In any of these places, I can land and immediately feel at home, navigating by memory, calling up friends, going to favorite restaurants, etc. Because I go to all of these places with relative frequency, I'm generally never gone for too long. So although I don't get to see all of my friends every week like I'd like to, I generally see them every 1 to 3 months, longer for Tokyo. If you call these 5 places my homes, you could say that I have 5 half homes rather than 1 full home. In other words, it feels like the sum of these partial residences is greater than one residence in terms of connection with friends, getting to know a city, etc. There are very few slow or boring weeks because every week follows the template of, I'm in Budapest, I need to do all of my favorite things and see all my friends. The downside to this, of course, is that I don't have any one 100% home. That means that I don't get regular casual contact with any of my friends, and I definitely feel the downsides of that. This manifests in dating as well, especially because those new relationships are so fragile. Often I'll have a great first date, leave for a month or two, and return to find she's dating someone else or the momentum has slowed. I'm very fortunate that most of my friends travel a lot as well. Some move constantly like I do, others every month or two. That means that I have a lot of amazing travel adventures with my friends. I haven't been to San Francisco in almost 3 months, but I saw several of my closest SF friends in Paris and Budapest a few weeks ago. During my 6 weeks in Budapest, I had 8 friends visit, 3 just by pure chance. While I definitely miss out on a certain depth in relationships afforded by living in constant proximity, I gain depth from sharing unique experiences around the world with them. I feel a much greater connectedness to the rest of the world. In a visceral sense, I understand the European experience, Japanese experience, New Yorker experience, etc. Even spending time in the island connects me to a more rural and self-sufficient lifestyle. Again, I obviously don't get 100% immersion and understanding in any of those, but I do get a lot. I believe that it is incredibly valuable to have experiences others don't have, and that one of the best ways to get that is not by having experiences others don't have, but to have combinations of them that others don't have. I like having a unique perspective to share, and I like it when others have the same. Eventually, flying and airports and all of that just become a background part of life. Many people commute for 2 hours or more a day by car to work, which is probably a bit more than I spend on planes on average. Much like that daily commute doesn't feel so bad after a while, neither does flying. I actually love flying at this point because I've adapted to it. I'm flying as I write this, in fact. It's a good time to work, to think, or to look out the window at the world and marvel. You also learn a lot of tricks and get a lot of the perks that make flying more pleasant. I spend time in airport lounges eating free meals and getting work done, can skip various immigration lines in several different countries, and get upgraded seats on some airlines. I know what the best restaurants are at a bunch of airports and how to easily get to the city from many of them. So while traveling can seem like a big hassle and a little bit intimidating, once it's part of your average week, it becomes second nature and very pleasant. The barrier to take new trips becomes very low because there's an internal assumption that I'll be traveling to somewhere anyway. So if a friend says, hey, a bunch of us are going to be in Tokyo next month, I'm likely to pop over too. Once I woke up and saw that I could get free concert tickets in Vegas, so I booked a flight and went there for 24 hours. This is made much easier by frequent flyer miles, which tend to be a comparatively excellent value for last-minute bookings. When you travel a lot and play the credit card game, you have hundreds of thousands of points with which to make plans. Sometimes I forget about major international trips and remember, oh yeah, I'm going to Hong Kong tomorrow. Seasons blur together and it becomes hard to remember what season it is, or when something happened. With no natural cycles, you can't think in terms of last summer, or at least I can't. I never know when anything happened, and I'm often off by 6 to 12 months on my guesses. Switching time zones becomes very easy. I don't know if all of my strategies work, or if my brain has just given up on keeping a constant cycle, but I've been through North America, Europe, and Japan within the same week many times and instantly adapted to the local time. Work is harder when you travel. There are some benefits like distraction-free plane time, but the switching costs of going to new places definitely take their toll. I'm currently experimenting with more permanent worldwide home bases to combat this, but the jury is out so far. On the other hand, it does force you to develop good work habits because you need to be productive in a variety of environments. Last, the world feels like a much smaller and more cohesive place. With constant exposure to all sorts of different cultures, you appreciate the differences, but also recognize the similarities. Even across adversarial lines drawn by politicians, Russia, China, you find that the people disregard those artificial divisions and are generally just interested in connecting on a human level. Being a constant traveler confers all sorts of benefits that I don't think you can get any other way, but it comes with its costs as well. Whether it's right for you or even for me is up for debate. If you haven't given it a try, maybe this post will bring you a little clarity on whether or not it's a lifestyle you ought to explore. You just listened to the post titled, What It Feels Like to Always Travel by Tynan of Tynan.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. It's common to think about our finances around the new year, maybe paying off debt or saving for a house. But why only track spending when you can also plan and actually achieve your goals? Set yourself up for financial success this year. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this year and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code LIVING. I love that with Monarch, I can see my savings goals and net worth as I get closer to milestones. I feel like it keeps me accountable. Set yourself up for financial success in 2026 with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use code LIVING at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code LIVING.
We're leaving today and entering a world of Mickey Mouse waving, princess meeting and greeting, lightsaber clashing, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror dropping, Banshee flying, Space Mountain launching, galaxy rewinding. What's the point with galaxy rewinding? Fireworks igniting. World of other worlds. For whatever you love. Infinite worlds await at the most magical place on Earth. Walt Disney World Resort.
Thinking of Tynan, I think a lot of people romanticize the idea of constant travel. We see pictures of people using laptops on the beach. But I'm glad he was honest about the trade-offs. Definitely amazing experiences, but maybe no depth in daily relationships. I've never lived that way myself, but I do relate to the idea of making unconventional choices that come with trade-offs. I've started multiple businesses and ideas over the years, most of them not working out. This podcast is the only one still going. And there were definitely trade-offs with that. Financial uncertainty, long hours, many days, well, many years really, no guaranteed paycheck. But it was worth it for me. Maybe not for others. I don't think this lifestyle is for everyone, and he doesn't claim it is. But it's important to hear the pros and cons, both sides, the freedom and the cost, the connections and the lack of depth, the excitement, but also the exhaustion. Different things work for different people, and I think that's a good thing. With that, thank you for being here, listening every day, whether you're traveling or commuting or out and about or at home. Your support and listening daily is how I'm able to keep going every day. Have a great rest of your day and week, and I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.